All right, I've stopped here because we have a unique tree that grows in North America, this part of the world, and that's called the American beech tree. The American beech tree, these two trees happen to be American beech trees, but the American beech tree is unique because it's one of the few trees, as it grows bigger, grows older, it keeps a smooth, nice bark. And in fact, some people think of it as elephant leg. It looks like a kind of a leg of an elephant, the skin of an elephant. But the American beech tree is unique and it keeps that smooth bark. Now, we've lost maybe up to 80, almost 90% of the American beech trees here at Ludington State Park to an invasive disease that's got into North America. Actually, around 1900, a disease from Europe accidentally got into North America that kills the American beech tree. And it's a two-stage disease. First of all, it's an insect, a little minute insect that makes little holes in here, and we'll show you that in a minute. And then we get a fungus, a nectra, that's a porous in the air, and it gets into those holes and it actually kills the tree. All right, we have a tree here, a dead tree as some people would call it. This tree right here is actually, again, what I'd like to call a buffet tree. This is a dead tree in the woods, and it's provided a lot of food and homes for some of the animals here. But what's interesting, you can actually see where these little tiny holes here, these are all insect holes. Insects are eating the dead wood, and then the woodpeckers come in and make these holes here to get to the insects to eat them, because that's, again, their food. And then some of these holes get used by, these cavities get used by animals. Now, if the hole's big enough, you can get owls living in there, get squirrels living in there. But these animals all working together utilize this dead tree for food and shelter, a very important part of a healthy forest. Today we've come across a log. As you can see, it's a tree that has long since died, and it's actually fallen to the ground. We can actually see how nature is breaking the tree down into soil. And what we have here is we have signs that, of course, the bark's been peeled off it, but underneath the bark you can see where the little insects have been eating away at the wood. And we can also see from looking around that other animals have been working at the tree too. Now, what other animal? How about the pileated woodpecker, or any woodpecker? They like to eat insects, and this tree was full of insects after it died. The insects like to eat the dead wood, and so the woodpeckers come in here and they'll feed off the insects here. So this is what we might call a buffet tree for the animals that live out here. This is a buffet tree. And there's also chipmunk signs, a lot of chipmunk holes. So the chipmunk is using this temporarily as a shelter also. So it's a buffet tree, as I like to call it when I have people to the park. A dead tree is a buffet tree for the animals that live here in the state park.